much. Good morning to everybody. So this work is carried out by two main people, so Alejandro Alvarez and myself. And then for the presentation, let me see if I can move forward. Yes. Sorry for the disturb. So the outline of the presentation will be introduction and motivation for the work, literature review, methodology, implementation, results, and conclusions. And then regarding the motivation, well, the idea for us is to be able to make some contribution to the idea on how the analysis of the, let's say, discursive presentation of results is normally carried out. In any kind of meeting you can imagine, there is kind of initial document proposing main ideas, and then people is able to go through and to make questions, and the presenter need to answer the questions. So this is the basic idea for any kind of global discussion. And then when you want to extract some knowledge from that, what people call sentiment or whatever, normally what the approach is to do kind of a global analysis of the whole sentiment discursive. Well, our idea is to do that in different ways, but making possible to combine audio, the text itself, as well as video if available, so multimodal. And then being able to contribute with some semantics to the structure of the discussion. One side is the written document, which is the base for the discussion, and then other could be the question submitted, and then the way and style people handle the question or answer the questions. So that provides a more richer description on the potential issues, etc. So we annotate the audio with time and the video with time, as well as we do kind of analysis and then propose a system able to do that. To make just a demonstration and application of that, we decide to do it when the classical earning call presentation of results of companies. So doing the application into the financial market. Why? Because that they follow that kind of approach. And then secondly, and more important, is that there is kind of potential for the step, which would be to connect that on the performance of the company through the market analysis, the market evolution. So this is because we are proposing a new way of doing that kind of analysis of the discussions and the discursive presentations. The idea is, as I told you, to create a semantic robot embedding for other future application, which is to translate that into other measures like performance of the companies, etc. So there are mainly two research questions. One is how can hierarchical multimodal embedding, like we are proposing, from the discursive structure of earning calls in that particular case, enhance the modeling of the communication. And then to what extent the emotional trajectories of answer provide coherence and able to improve the interpretations of the that kind of discursive, not paying attention to how long or how big the discussion is. Also being kind of flexible to, although there are 20 questions or just one, or no questions, or emotions in the different regarding which topics are more emotional for the answer person, etc. So yeah, the idea is basically to provide kind of global discourse tool able to embed all those, combining all those multimodal dimensions in a richer semantic approach to the discourse itself. Then we will use it for doing additional analysis for the companies or for the political discussion, etc. But this is out of this work. The presentation here is just related to how we can go through the creation of such kind of framework. Okay, then moving into the literature review section, there are some approach to do that kind of application of multimodal modeling approach into the financial sentiment analysis, but then the work normally is somehow limited to the main structure, the main document people provide with. So our idea is to combine not only that, but also the questions and the analysis carrying out during the whole presentation, not just the style of presentation. So normally the people, what normally people do is to make the analysis with multimodal, but the text, and then also the style of presentation for the speaker of that text. So we are including dynamically different type of questions as well, etc. And then we use, as I already highlighted, the multimodality, and then we integrate this kind of audio focus analysis with a comprehensive hierarchical framework, able to consider also the text and also the video, which is more richer than the normal application that people used to carry out. Related to the discourse structure limitations, well, normally when people do multimodality, if you analyze carefully, most of the application are heavily weighted by let's say one of the components of the discourse, basically the main document. And then because we design it in different approaches, making clear the division between what is the main document and what is the query and answer section, by design we overcome this kind of limitation. And then we are able to provide richer analysis because we do a fine-tuning of the models, able to carry out the audio representation of the sentiment with 7 styles of type of let's say sentiment related to the audio expression of the people. Regarding the methodology, well, the methodology, we ground all the analysis into the discourse structure theory, which able us to represent the dialogue in a hierarchical approach. So then we do have kind of main body for the discussion, main document, then the query submission, then the answer of the submission of the question, then indeed we can manage different questions and different answers, and we are able to relocate properly which part of the answer is related to which question, and then indeed how many or which questions were not addressed in the answer of the speaker. And then deeply into the details, we use the multimodal interaction theory, which enable us to represent multimodality, and the representation learning theory, which enable the contrastive learning approach to build up semantic embedding from raw data. So these are the main, let's say, components of the methodology we adopted. Let's now have a look on the whole global vision of the system we are presenting here. So we start in the session on the system, the earning call. Normally there is a monologue making the presentation of the main document, of the text, provided to the analysts, and then it starts the speaker open the floor for questions, and then he or she answer the questions. So we are able to identify all those components without any additional intervention. So which part is monologue, which part is question, and which part is answer. And then based on the composition of those components, we do the multimodal feature extraction from one side, from the text of the document itself, then the audio part, both for questions and answers, and for the monologue as well, and then the video showing how the speaker carry out the body language, let's say. We make kind of a transforming approach at nodal level, so at each of those components, text, audio for questions, audio for answer, video for question, video for answer. And then indeed we extract also the metadata, which is related to the coherence, how aligned the answers are related to the main document, and which are the missed questions or not addressed questions, and then based on the labeling the main topics in the discussion, etc. And then we build up a structure able to describe from that kind of Latin representation the whole earning code. And then based on that, we are able to make a second layer of transforming approach to describe the whole conference system. And then we provide an embedding in a Latin space, making possible to carry out application like sentiment, anomaly detection, forecasting for companies, different applications. So the core of the system is as already presented. To do that, in the semantic approach, what we do is basically to structure as presented number of pair of query and answers will be depending on how many interventions, how long, how many questions there are submitted, how many answers are provided, etc. In a way that we don't need to have a predefined set of or number of questions or answers, but the system is able to identify how many of the individual components are present. So the monologue one is the text, another one is the presentation from the speaker. And then the approach is, first of all, to separate intervention, to identify nature of the intervention. Is the monologue, is questions, is answer, is what. And then doing because some speaker can provide several questions in one shot, or individual query and answer. So we are able to identify which part of which answer belongs to which question, etc. And then to identify which part were a monologue, etc. And then to provide that kind of hierarchical approach dynamically and automatically. Okay, then regarding implementation, what we do is, as already told in the main graphical presentation, we provide that kind of description for the learning code, and then we start to build the tree construction, and then node by node we do the encoding with the transformer at node level, and then based on the application, so we provide a training strategy to use because in the end the node level need to be encoded in a conference level encoding, but it will be depending on the training how we will do the downstream application. So the approach is like that. So the only flexible components in the system are, of course, the data and code, and also the application, the training strategy, depending on what we are let's say, supervised or non-supervised application based on price market or whatever, to provide the final model. Then we are showing the details in the slide related which kind of model. Some of them were fine-tuned or were adjusted, let's say, to the bias to the application, but basically are based on classical LLM for text, for text to do the identification of the let's say the type of discourse or the topic, labeling, etc. And then some other for audio or for video analysis. What we do is to, no matter how many nodes, so we make a Latin description for each node, depending on type, etc. And then we combine all of that in a single vector, fixed length, describing the most relevant components, which is what we call the earning call latent embedding, which are able to represent the whole situation happening through the earning call presentation. In there, all the, let's say, interaction, emotional dynamics, discourse coherence, etc., are included either as metadata, either at nodal level, etc. So the translation happens because of that transformer encoding approach. Then we use normally multi-head self-attention to identify which parts are more relevant than others for the construction of the conference learning call level application. So in the slide we make, so this is a multidimensional fixed length vector, and then we make some analysis either at nodal level like that one we are showing here, or at conference level, as we will see later, showing to what end the system is able to properly identify the nature of the nodes of the components. As you can see there, there are kind of rather good identification on what is a question, what is an answer, what is a monologue, and then indeed the map projection, the characteristics and metadata is mainly well structured and separated from the original structure, from the data. And then as well, also for the type of topic level related component, if it is a business description, it is a MDA and a 10K component, etc. So the preliminary results are rather exciting. Then also we do the same at level of earning call global approach, and then we do it with different along different periods of time, different quarters, and for different companies to show the coherences and all the coherences of the system. And then we are rather happy to report that there were rather on the, for instance, the situation on the top left part of the projection. Keep in mind that the UMAP is a nonlinear projector, which is basically translating the idea of how close or far in the multidimensional space the nodes are, or the components are. In that particular case, all of those are earning call whole representation for the in that particular case the component. So you can see on the left part on the top, which is located by NVIDIA and some others, which are providing spectacular good results, and then they are rather separated from other cases. So we are able to correlate, or to at least soft correlate for sure. It's not properly carried out yet. The results and the representation on the feeling of the sentiment of the whole earning call. And then regarding conclusions, well, what we do basically is to able to answer the research question provided. The first one, mainly because we propose an automatic framework able to enhance and to collect the key aspect with the proper weighting for the whole earning call system, not only attending the main document or just the discursive of the speaker, but also the questions, the answers, etc. And then for the second questions, when we use UMAP, we are able to provide a low-level dimension representation of the earning call trajectory. So the connection of those points that need to be done at company level for sure. And this is what we are doing now to analyze how, but at least the tool is there. So showing the connection between position of the projection of the different earning call for the same company through time, we are able to analyze the trajectory or the speak or the peaks or whatever situation or the specific. And then we are able to compare trajectories between similar companies or very dissimilar ones. Then we can conclude that the proposed pipeline successfully generates a fixed size vector representing the entire financial earning call, leveraging the transforming architecture at level of the nodes and the conference itself. So the longitudinal analysis intra-company through time will be possible now on, and also that kind of application what we was carried out and presented by the application on the financial market because of the future work we are developing can be extended to any other kind of presentation. Imagine a scientific presentation of results where someone is providing a conference for presenting some paper results, etc. And then after the main presentation, there is an open question and answer section, like our conference today or whatever. Then that could be also applicable in that kind of application. And well, this is all what I wanted to tell you today. That's all from my side. Thank you for listening.